Where's my $3 raise?
You'll be drinking it in 10 minutes.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted you.
I thought you'd never run from a fight.
I don't. I just had one in the closet. My ear's pierced now and I don't wear earrings.
I told you it wouldn't be easy. I should have known you didn't have the guts to stick it out.
Stick it out? I have been smiling at that idiot for 3 days. You see that? That's what I've been doing since 10 o'clock this morning.
Well, cut it out. You look like a demented ventriloquist.
Look, this was not my stupid idea. It was your stupid idea.
Well, it's a very smart, stupid idea because it's working.
It's working for you. You're getting your magazine. I'm getting holes in my ears.
I happen to be paying through the nose for those holes in your ears. That won't happen again. Now, I've got 50 pages to edit, so I'd like a little quiet, please.
You don't even know I'm here, because I won't be here.
You'll be here because I'm paying you to be here. And he's coming back in 10 minutes, and he wants you to be here.
Then here I will be.
This is not the Christian Science reading room. It's an office, and there's work to be done.
Then do it.
I was talking about you.
Would you like me to type a letter? I can have it printed a year from September.
You can sharpen some pencils and be quiet.
Yes, boss.
What are you doing?
What you told me to do.
Thanks. Now I have a ballpoint pen without a ballpoint. You see this?
I see it.
Well, first let me tell you that it's not a dead chicken on a stick. It's a feather duster. And by that I don't mean you dust feathers with it. You hold it on this end, and you flick it against the furniture, thus dusting it. Do you think you could do that?
Lefty or righty?
If you'd like, you can stick it in a hole in your ear and shake your head. Just clean the room and be quiet.
Yes, sir. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Yes, you seem to be.
Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni.
You're not gonna whistle the second chorus, are you?
I just work here. I do what I'm told.
All right. Here are 20 addressed envelopes and 20 stamps. You have a tongue. Don't talk. Lick.
Are these announcements for next week's cell meeting, comrade?
No. Actually, they're thin bombs. All you do is add water. I get the feeling you don't approve of me as a person.
If that's what you are, that's what I don't.
Why not?
Because I don't approve of your character, your philosophy, your principles, your ideals, your vocation, your methods, your scruples. Shall I continue?
Look, your opinions have as much practical value as a 1939 calendar. I'm not paying $75 a week to listen to a limited vocabulary. Now go back and lick the stamps. I'm a busy man.
So it's John Wilkes Booth and that he assassinated Lincoln.
Are you implying I was in on the Lincoln job?
I'm talking about your present activities, but I wouldn't put it past you.
Sorry. That night I was in Philadelphia, cracking the Liberty Bell. Can't focus in front of the Senate Investigating Committee.
The truth is always difficult to face. Can my talk long rest, a well has dried up.
Look, if you're unhappy here, why don't you take a job as the night watchman for the Statue of Liberty? That way you can swim around her all night, checking to see if the torch went out.
The enforcers of justice have always been the scapegoat to the enemies of freedom. Do you know where I read that?
The back of a Patrick Henry bubblegum card.
No, in the speeches of Socrates. You ever read the speeches of Socrates?
I'm waiting for the paperback to come out.
It's apt. That's where I read it. It would shock you, Mr. Hobart, to know the amount of political literature I have read.
I would be nonplussed if you got into anything deeper than the names and addresses of the girls in the Miss America contest. Now, I notice your tongue is functioning again. Go back and lift the stamps.
If it was up to a treader like you, no one would win the Miss America contest.
You're right. I think a parade of pretty girls is fine. But listening to the Miss North Dakota singing an aria from the Barber of Seville in the key of M, while baking an upside-down 7-layer cake in a hoop skirt she hooped herself, is beyond human endurance. I'll be very frank with you, Miss Roschmeyer. Up until now, I've not been very happy with your work.
And I suppose next you'll outlaw apple pie.
I heard that. And I happen to love apple pie, which, for your information, originated in Bavaria, Germany.
That's a lie. Apple pie is as American as blueberry pie.
The only truly indigenous American foods are Thanksgiving turkey and chicken chow mein. You're deliberately distracting me from working my magazine, aren't you?
Each citizen must do what he can.
Of all the bigoted things, you haven't read a word in it past the table of contents.
You don't have to drink the poison if it says so on the label.
I'm going in the closet to work. Call me when Norma gets back.
All right, tell me. Is there anything about this country you do like?
I like almost everything about this country, except for the people who like absolutely everything about this country.
Why don't you answer my question?
Why don't you question my answer?
Why don't you talk like a person so I can understand which are the questions and which are the answers?
Would it be all right if I worked in your apartment?
It would not. If there's going to be a fight, let's draw the battle lines on the field of the aggressor. And don't bother asking where I read that, because I made it up myself.
I had it narrowed down to you or Winston Churchill.
And for your information, Winston Churchill's mother was born in the United States, in Brooklyn.
Well, you never know it from the way he talked. Now, why don't you go back to your apartment and make some chitlins and grits? Your cat must be hungry.
I'm not leaving until you admit you are snide, smug, and narrow-minded.
Will you settle for belligerent?
I will settle for deceitful and treacherous.
Okay. I'm deceitful and treacherous. And you are provincial, old-fashioned, antiquated, unrealistic, unimaginative, unenlightened, uninformed, and completely unable to understand anything that isn't completely underwater. Your big trouble in life is that you were born 150 years too late. You should have been at Bunker Hill, loading muskets, raising flags, waiting for the British to show up with the whites of their eyes. You'll be shocked to know that this is 1967, and this country has a whole new set of problems. But you wouldn't know about that because I don't think you're a real person with flesh and blood and feelings and sensitivities. I don't think you can be capable of having another genuine emotional attachment for another human being unless it's first passed by Congress, amended the Constitution, and painted red, white, and blue. If you've been listening, Miss Roschmeyer, I have just made a point.
All right, if you want to make points, then I'm going to make one. I'm going to make the biggest point you ever heard.
When you get to it, raise your right hand. With you, it's hard to tell.
Oh, you'll know when I'm making it, only you're not going to like it. Are you listening?
With one ear. That's all I need with you.
I don't like you because of a lot lot of the reasons I already said. But the main reason I don't like you is because I'm engaged to Lieutenant Burt Fenton in the United States Marines. And in a few weeks, we're supposed to get married. But for some insane reason only a Hungarian psychoanalysis could explain, I am, and here's the part I was telling you about, I am physically attracted to you! Now how do you like that for a point? Did you hear what I said?
I heard what you said.
Well, how do you like them apples?
Those apples.
Them apples. Well, how do you like them?
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. There's something about your physical presence that appeals to me. And I'm as repulsed by it as you are.
You couldn't possibly be.
Look, there is no earthly reason why I should like anything about you. And I don't. But I do. Oh, what do we do about it?
If you're looking for another boost in salary, this is not the way to get it.
Where are you going?
To get Norman's copy of Kraft Ebing. You're a bigger nut than he is.
You don't believe me.
I believe you. I just don't understand you. What do you mean you're physically attracted to me?
Would you like a complete rundown of arms, legs, hair, and teeth? Get a pencil and paper and we'll run it item for item.
You mean you like the way I look?
Not terribly.
You like the way I walk?
Not really.
Do you like the way I dress?
Not remotely.
Well, what do you
I like the way you smell!